Good morning, YouTube. It's 10 a.m. in the great state of Texas, and what we're doing today is we're going to make a colored pencil bowl, but we're going to also throw some pine board in there just to see if we can just do the inlay of the bowl. So for this project, all we did was take a scrap piece of pine board that I had laying around the shop. Actually use this for a different project to make some big circles, and we're going to cut it down on the table saw, and I'm going to try not to lose my fingers. So essentially all we're doing is stacking up 3 pieces of pine board. If you've gone back and seen some of the videos that I've done earlier, a couple of months back, we've been using a lot of pine board recently, and we're just making circles, and then we're just going to glue them up, stack them, and put some colored pencils in between. I don't have enough colored pencils to do one of those cool epoxy colored pencil bowls. I've done those in the past, but I've done them on a much smaller scale. But on this one, I just wanted to do the inlay. I don't know where I saw this. I know I'm probably not the first one to come up with this idea, but essentially I popped this idea in my head and thought, you know what, we probably could do this. So had these colored pencils literally like laying in a junk drawer for a long time, and finally decided to get something going using them. Because if you do the colored pencil epoxy bowl, you need hundreds and hundreds of these pencils, and like I was like, man, that's an expensive project, so I think I'm just gonna do the best I can with what I got, because that's what it's all about. So just here, take them out of the package, and then I'm just deciding how I'm gonna lay them out and what they're gonna look like. Initially I didn't think I was gonna have enough. Initially I thought I had too many pencils, but as I start to do the glue up, I realize I don't have enough pencils for this. So pouring out the glue, don't be stingy with your glue. If you're going to do this, use a lot of glue. Glue is your friend. Make a mess with it. So getting the pencils all laid out the way that I want, and then I realize, I don't have enough pencils to do this completely. And there I am searching the box, trying to look for more pencils. But I'm like, okay, this could work. So essentially just put another piece of pine board on top of it, put the weight on there, and just let it set up for like an hour or two. Then I came back and then just make more glue, or put more glue all over. And now we're gonna stack our plates here. And then again, don't be stingy with your glue. Gorilla Glue is what I used. You can use whatever you want, but if you're curious, Gorilla Glue is what we use. So I did this project, I think, back in early September. I don't even know when you guys are watching this, but it was hot in the shop, super duper hot. So here we go. Now we're just going to do the glue out, or the squeeze out with the clamps. Don't be stingy with your clamps. Old woodworking joke, how many clamps does a woodworker need? Always one more is the correct answer. So this is what the glue up looks like once you start squeezing all that glue out. Really makes the boards adhere to each other. So this is just a cool little squeeze out video. And I actually went back and added all of these other clamps to it as well. So like I said, you can never have too many clamps, because you never know when you're going to need just one more. And this one was kind of being a pain, didn't want to come off, so give that a little shake. And now we're going to go over to the bandsaw, and I wish I would have used a different camera angle. Obviously now you guys can't even see where I'm actually cutting those off. Old me would have just put this on the lathe and tried to like take them off that way, but that's not smart. So now we have a cheese wheel going. Saw a little roll there, and now we're just going to put the face plate on here and then get this onto the lathe and see what we can kind of get going with this project here. So I don't remember there's only like one specific problem that I remember from this project, and that was a little bit later. I'll talk about that. But obviously the cheese wheel is a little too big, and had to protrude out the tailstock there just so that the banjo could fit and that we could get some space to work here. So start wheeling down the material. Great thing about working with pine, it's real nice and soft. It's real easy on the chisels. Doesn't give me a whole lot of problems. And again, I like working with pine. If you don't like working with pine, that's okay. You don't have to leave hateful comments on my channel telling me how horrible I am for liking to working with pine. Oh, somebody did that a couple of videos back, and I was just really surprised by that. But you don't have to watch the channel. This is just my stuff. Anyway, back to the project. So got everything down to a nice cylindrical shape, got it into a nice bowl. Now we just went back and made the mortise. Again, took no problem at all, or took no time at all, I should say. Real easy. Now we're just getting everything sized up for the chuck, and then we're going to come back and take the faceplate off. And the good thing about this was it didn't punch through to the crayons or the colored pencils, which was good. Now we're just getting everything nice and flat before we start the gouging portion of it. again, takes no time at all. So if you're into woodworking and you're just getting started, go work with pine. That would be my recommendation. It's nice and soft. I've been doing this for almost 5 years. By the time you guys watch this, it'll be 5 years, but still one of my favorite woods to work with. And now we're starting the gouging part. And the great thing about using the colored pencils is the pencils told me how far I needed to go. So initially, I just started rounding out the entirety of the inside of it, and then just taking layer by layer off, switching up between the round and the square carbide tool, and then getting to a nice depth here, and then we've almost punched through, and then boom, there we are. So once I knew where I was, I could kind of like work the edges and then just kind of get a shape of the lip of the bowl that I wanted. And it kind of looks junky in that one, but I realized just come back, gouge out where you wanted it to go, and then come back and do some refined work with the chisels here. And essentially that's all we did. So you see me here just working the edge, just trying to see where we're at, and then I got to a nice depth, and now we're just cleaning up all that. And it still looks kind of junky, but it just had to come back, make small, little shallow strokes. Don't be too aggressive if you're going to do this. And boom, starts to look a lot better. And then just coming back with a couple more passes. Not a whole lot of issues here. The only issue I had was for some reason, I guess the crayon is spinning so fast that it's hitting the lip of the bowl and is making this ugly color on the side. That kind of gives this discoloration look. But overall, pine board went really easy. I love the colors and the inlay on the inner portion of the bowl, so I was really happy how that turned out. And here we are with just the mess that it made, but looks pretty good. So then I just did a little bit of sanding. It was kind of junky, like I couldn't get the discoloration off of that. I came back and hit it with the square carbide tool, and that would only do it momentarily, but as it spins, it just continuously gunks that up. So I took some sandpaper, I took 50 grit sandpaper, and tried doing that to get all that discoloration off, but it just didn't work. But eventually we got done with the sanding, and overall happy how it turned out after the sanding. We came back, hit it with some wood polish. I shouldn't have done this part of it. Maybe next time. I think I'm just going to burn the pine. It makes the grain of the wood come out a little bit, but for what we did later, like this part right here, we sealed it with epoxy, and I think that was a little bit problematic. It's streaked and smeared a lot of the time when we did this part, because I didn't want the crayon to rub off on whatever anybody would put in this bowl. So that's why we did the epoxy. But that was kind of problematic. I probably shouldn't have done that. And then I came back and just did the edges. It makes the crayons pop a little bit when you add the epoxy to it, but the aesthetic of it didn't turn out exactly the way I envisioned. So that was a little problematic, but overall happy how it turned out. Again, we will be doing this project in the future, but I think I learned from my mistakes for this one. We definitely need to get an adequate amount of colored pencils, and I think we're going to end up burning the pine next time. But aesthetically, it looks pretty cool. Not a whole lot of complaints, I guess, other than that dirty edge, but hope you guys liked it. Hope you got something out of it. Don't forget to subscribe, like. You can see all the gaps and everything that are in there. The next one will be better. Generation 2 will be better. So check you out in the next one. All right, peace. All right, take 2 of this outro, because I just went on a rambling spree there toward the end. Project's done. Looks really cool. I'm surprised that the coloring came out as well as it did. You can kind of see there a little bit more detail, but it looks really cool, and obviously there are problems. There's a giant gap right there. I ran out of colored pencils. I actually didn't think I was going to use all the colored pencils when I had them. Obviously, I was wrong on that one. But this is generation 1 of this pencil bowl. We will be doing this one again in the future, so really looking forward to that. Just plain pine, but it looks really cool. If you just set this up, put something in it, it looks really cool. So really happy how this one turned out. So today is September 30th, 2023. Honestly, you guys might be watching this in November or maybe even in 2024 January. I have videos stacked up, and I'm getting better about making videos for the channel, so we're not behind, and I'm not like rushing toward the end to get things done. But not sure when you guys are going to be watching this one, but either way, fun project. We will be doing this one again, but hope you guys liked it. Hope you got something out of it. we're gonna do something cooler with this one next time. But I'll catch you guys in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe, like, all that stuff that every YouTuber freaking says. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. It's Saturday. I gotta go watch college football. Tech is playing. Actually, I don't even know who Tech's playing. I think Houston. And we'll see how that goes. So I'll catch you guys in the next one. All right, peace.